This movie is so good, it feels illegal. Spoilers ahead. Most of us are probably familiar with the children's book The Little Prince by the French author Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Sorry if I'm butchering his name with my pronunciation. I, like many others, didn't grasp the depth of the story until I was older. It wasn't until a high school girlfriend of mine told me that it was her favorite book. And then I realized there was more to it. She could talk endlessly about it, and that piqued my curiosity. So, I went to the nearest bookstore and bought a new copy, since my elementary school version had been lost somewhere along the way. I read it fairly quickly and realized how powerful of a piece of literature it actually was. While it's often labeled as a children's book, The Little Prince is something that should be revisited throughout different stages of life. It serves as a poignant reminder of the things we should truly value and strive for. The first time I watched The Little Prince, the movie, I was 16 years old, and it floored me. I was in high school wondering what I was going to do with my life. Everything felt so gray, just like it does in the movie. While the film presents this in an exaggerated way, it felt deeply relatable to me. Now, having become an artist and a filmmaker myself, life still feels that way sometimes. Even in creative fields, there's always a pressure for everything we do to serve some quote-unquote essential purpose. Watching this film again as an adult made me think of that social media trend where people show something beautiful and then caption it with something like, "Humans saw this and decided to invent Excel." That, in essence, is the sad reality we live in. We have extraordinary abilities, yet so much of our time and energy is devoted to tasks that a trained monkey could easily do. It raises a bigger question. What is our true purpose? Are we really here just to fill countless spreadsheets and stress over numbers and statistics that someone deemed important decades ago? I refuse to believe that's all there is. The world is beautiful for a reason, and surely that reason isn't to spend our days confined in cubicles. That's what this movie speaks to. It's a rather revolutionary idea, really. The little girl in the movie begins to question what she's doing, and more importantly, who she's doing it for. If you're genuinely happy filling spreadsheets all day, that's great. But to do it without ever questioning what else is out there, that's borderline criminal. Of course, society wouldn't function if we all abandoned our responsibilities to watch the sky all day. But the film suggests that we can at least make our lives more meaningful. We should strive to balance the mundane with the extraordinary. The artistry in The Little Prince is a huge part of what makes the message so powerful. The film uses stop-motion animation to contrast the whimsical world of The Little Prince with the stark gray reality of the modern world. It's a brilliant visual technique that highlights the difference between a life of wonder and a life of rigid structure. As for the voice acting, it's equally impressive. The movie was originally produced in French, though many people seem to be under the impression that it was an English production, likely because of the high-profile English voice cast. Netflix acquired the rights, and now it's most commonly watched in English, but let's not forget its French origins. From what I've heard, the original French version is fantastic. Marion Cotillard, who voices the Rose in both versions, brings a quiet elegance to the role. And in the English version, like it's usually done, they didn't hire random, probably really good, but random dubbing actors. They brought in major stars like Jeff Bridges, James Franco, Rachel McAdams, and Mackenzie Foy. The casting adds a layer of gravitas to the film that makes it even more engaging. Visually, the cinematography does an excellent job of portraying the dullness of modern life while contrasting it with the vibrant imagination of the Little Prince's world. The symbolic use of color and style is striking. Everything about this film is rich with meaning. It's not just a movie you watch, it's one you feel on a deeper level. I would have never imagined seeing the Little Prince grown up into Mr. Prince, and that concept is both heartbreaking and hopeful. It reminds us that growing up isn't the problem, it's forgetting the things that truly matter. When it comes to rewatchability, I'd rate it around 87%. The first part of the film can feel soul-crushing if you can relate to the monotonous nature of adult life. But the ending is heartwarming, offering a glimmer of hope in a world that often feels cold and mechanical. It's bittersweet in the best possible way, a film that will stick with you long after the credits roll. As always, thank you for watching. See you next time.